Hey guys, what's up? We are back here with another video today, and today we are doing a Cincinnati Bengals mock draft, so make sure you hit that subscribe button down below as we are closing in on 1,000 subscribers. I'm so happy to be able to get close. We're about 60 away, so hit that subscribe button down below. Like this video if you enjoy it. Comment all your thoughts and opinions down below as well as I respond to every single comment. So let me know whether you like this mock draft or whether you dislike it. Just let me know what your thoughts are down below. Also, make sure that you check out the website. Link will be down in the description. I'm putting out power rankings for the XFL as well as mock drafts and predictions for all sorts of stuff. So make sure that you go ahead and check that out down below. Make sure you also check out the podcast, as the podcast will be having some new content coming out this summer, so make sure you check that out as well. And let's get started with today's video. So at number 29 overall, I have the Cincinnati Bengals selecting Dalton Kincaid, the tight end out of Utah. Kincaid, good receiving threat, really one of the best receiving tight ends in this draft class. Michael Mayer is the best tight end overall, but Kincaid as a tight end receiver threat, much more of a Gesicki style tight end than he is a tight end that's just going to absolutely bash you and be a great blocker and stuff like that. He's much more of a receiving threat than he is a blocker, but he is really, really good as a receiving threat down below. So I do like the pick of Kincaid. I think that he fits well in the system, that he does well to be able to enjoy that. So at number 61 overall, I have the Bengals selecting Julius Brents, the cornerback out of Kansas State. Brents does a good job at being able to lock down an inside path to the football, being able to be really physical, being able to go up and get after the point, has been one of the bigger risers since the combine in a lot of people's draft boards. I think Brents will be a really good pick, and here in the late second round, I have a mid-second round grade on him, so I do think it's a good value. At number 93 overall, as we continue to move on here, I have the Bengals selecting Dalen Henley, the linebacker out of Washington State. Henley, he's been one of my favorite picks in recent drafts. I had the Bills selecting him. If you watched my Bills mock draft yesterday, I think that Henley does a really good job at being able to provide a great coverage linebacker, something that's important in that AFC that you really could always use. I think that the Bengals, that's a good position to always have more of and to be able to always have additional threats there. So at number 132, I have the Bengals selecting Jayden Reed, Jayden Reed, the wide receiver out of Michigan State. Reed had a great Senior Bowl, really showed out, did good job with his route running, really provided some good tape to go along with his Michigan State days. I think that he really does help to fit a need for the Bengals and being able to be a good receiving threat, be a consistent receiving threat, and I think that that's something that will be additionally helpful for that team. So I think that we are moving on with the next pick. At pick number 165, we're going quite fast with this one. This may be one of my shorter mock drafts, but either way, moving on to pick number 165, where I selected Brandon Joseph, the safety out of Notre Dame. With Joseph, it really comes down to he has a great ability to be able to play center field. He's not the greatest strong safety type in the world. He's much more of that center fielder, that free safety type than he is that in the box type of safety like the Adrian Amoses or the Landon Collins or even the Jamal Adams or stuff like that. You're going to be much more of an in the box type of, or a much more of a center fielder rather than in the box. But Joseph does fit a role well. He can play your safety number 3, or he can become a starter eventually. Transferred to Notre Dame a couple of years ago, played decently, didn't play the best in the world. That's why you'll be getting him later on here in the 5th round rather than early on in the draft. So heading to the second to the last pick, I have the Bengals selecting Jackson Kirkland, the offensive tackle out of Washington. And here's my philosophy with the last two picks. You can never have enough offensive and defensive linemen. Jackson Kirkland, it just adds depth to a offensive line that continues to need depth. They definitely improved last year compared to previous year. So it's not a terrible offensive line. It got better with the addition of I can't think of his name. Orlando Brown. So Orlando Brown, it got better with that addition, but you definitely have an ability to be able to do that with the addition of Orlando Brown. Just adding some depth there, a possible trade of Jonah Williams coming in the near future, so that could change and affect what goes on there. So with final pick at number 248, I have the Bengals selecting Gerard Clark, the defensive lineman / defensive tackle out of Coastal Carolina. Clark does a good job at being able to fit a role that not many people can fill. He can play at 3 technique, at 5 technique, can even play a little bit of nose tackle if you really need him to, but a really good overall player. Definitely has some plus abilities there to be able to get after the quarterback, but also to be able to run stuff as well. So that's going to wrap up today's video. Make sure that you check out the website, podcast, all of that good stuff. Hit the subscribe button, but hit the 2 videos down below, or you can hit the subscribe button up here. And as always, have a great day. Bye, guys.